time now 5:16. Let's check on meteorologist Peyton Malone.
Thanks, Bree. Tracking a few showers for that Tuesday morning drive. If you're crossing I-55 near Rudolph, the Moorpaw area, that's where we are seeing a couple of showers this morning on radar. But everywhere else, we're checking in mostly dry. But zooming out, you can see a lot of these showers and storms are in the Gulf, and that's where they're going to be the next few days. We are tracking this little tropical disturbance. I've been watching this for about a week now, and luckily, Hurricane Center agrees and says it's not going to develop. They're giving it a 0% chance, but they wanted to highlight it just because everyone's talking about it. You can see a lot of rain up on the Alabama and Florida coast, down off the mouth of the river. We will see scattered showers. I don't think it's going to be a washout. I don't think it's going to rain continuously. I think the flood risk is going to be somewhat limited. Now, it's not zero, but the rain chances are going to be up and down each day, which honestly is really no different than what we do in our regular summertime routine. So please don't get worked up over this little thing. We'll just be watching out for scattered showers the next couple of days, 40, 50, 60%. And with clouds around, I think we're going to stay mostly in the low 90s. So it's not going to be beautiful blue sky days. There will be quite a bit of clouds, but you may need to watch out for some isolated showers. And these are tropical downpours, so they can be on the heavy side. We'll watch for isolated street flooding, well, for the foreseeable future since we're in the summer months, but especially today, tomorrow, and Thursday. That risk is only a level 1 out of 4. Now, here's what's going on out in the tropics. This is actually a real system. That's Tropical Storm Erin this morning. Just wanted to show you how far out in the Atlantic it is. We're still in that green zone where much of the U.S. is just in the watch phase. And right now for the Gulf region, I'm feeling good about this one not coming our way. Now, the East Coast keeping a close eye on it, but they may get lucky too. So here's Tropical Storm Erin. It is sitting over nearly 700 miles away from land. That's the Cabo Verde Islands right there. It's not looking healthy this morning because it's sitting in cooler water temperatures and it's battling a little bit of dry air. Now, we think this is going to improve, and the structure of this storm is going to allow it to become a hurricane here probably by tomorrow or into early Thursday. Notice the track heading southwest and west over the next day, and then it starts to have a little bit of a northwest movement. That's important because the sooner it does that, we don't want it near the islands this weekend because that right there is a major hurricane by Saturday or Sunday, and that means too close for comfort for Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, the Northern Lesser Antilles could have a major hurricane in their area by this weekend. So watching that closely for the islands. But this will be the beginning of, we think, a turn. Now, how quickly that turn happens is important because we don't want this thing getting close to the East Coast long range. There's not a lot of model support for that, but there are still a few outlier models that bring it closer to this direction. But you can see the consensus does agree this thing's turning well before the Gulf and hopefully well before the eastern U.S. It all has to do with the breakdown of this upper level ridge. That's steering it to the west. Notice how strong it is right in there on Thursday and Friday. Well, luckily this little trough, look at this blue. It comes down, it weakens the ridge. There's the escape route, and that's what we need to happen sooner rather than later to turn this thing out to sea. But East Coast still watching it closely, watching it extremely closely though for down to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. So for us, it's just really the usual. Scattered showers the next few days, and we're going to trade those rain chances for some intense heat this weekend. We'll be back in the mid-90s Saturday and Sunday. Our marine forecast, we're going to be watching for light and variable winds here, just like we have the past few days. Just watch out for thunderstorms. Your high tide is going to be later this afternoon, and your low tide will happen later on tonight.